How are they looking? Do they look blended? I know you're a boy, but look at all the fun sparkles. They're my go-to. I never leave home without them. The heat. Ooh, I need a cup of water and honey. Okay, let's get started. Pretty good. Hey guys, been getting a lot of direct messages on my Instagram account asking about my eye makeup. So I anchor a morning show and every day I get asked, who does your makeup? Does someone do your makeup? I do my makeup. So if you comment and you say you don't like it, then well, that's on me. And if you say you like it, that's on me too. I am not a makeup artist. Just want to point that out. I've been fortunate enough in my career that I've been able to work with different makeup artists and sort of glean information and knowledge from them. I make it a point to when I'm getting my makeup done, whoever is doing my makeup, that I ask a lot of questions so I can pick up those tips and tricks along the way. So I'm going to walk you through how I do my eye makeup for work every morning. And I'll be honest, I go with a pretty glam look every day. This is not necessarily a quick look, but it is a fun look, and I think it's an attention grabber. So I'll walk you through the beginning to the end and some things I've learned along the way that help make your eyeshadow stay on a little bit longer. So I don't normally do my makeup in the kitchen, but since I'm working from home, this is my studio. Let's get a little closer. I feel like it's a whole lot of me. So I washed all my eye makeup off and I prepped the eye. So what does prep the eye mean? Well, I usually use some sort of a primer. Now I used to use an eye makeup primer, but then I walked into Sephora one day and the sales associate said to me, have you ever thought about using some sort of a concealer instead of a primer? And I don't know about you, but when I walk into that store, I'm just like a sponge. I'll soak up whatever it is you tell me. My whole thing is I want to be able to go into a hot yoga class and walk out and my eye makeup hasn't moved. So this is, I think it's Canel Light 2.75 and it's from NARS and it's basically just a creamy concealer. I was told to get a color that was closer to my foundation. I use this Laura Mercier. This is Secret Under Eye Brightening Powder. Now, some people may use this just, very minimally. Minimally? Yeah, that's right. I am a little more heavy-handed. Now, again, not a makeup artist. This is what works for me. If it doesn't work for you, I totally get it. So if I put on enough brightening powder, then I can go ahead, tap, 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 then I can go ahead and wipe it all off and it's like it disappeared and I made no mistakes. So I'm gonna begin with that. And let me warn you, I'm gonna make my makeup face this entire time, or I oddly open my mouth for no apparent reason. So there you go, that's gonna stay on there the entire time until the very end. And then I'll just wipe everything off and it'll be perfect. Okay, so let's talk colors. I became obsessed with Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes. They last a long time. They have a ton of fun colors and shimmers and shiny things to play with. So since I like to go glam every day of the week, I'm gonna start off with the very first one that I ever bought, and it is the Naked Urban Decay Heat. Do you see ounce? There's like no more of ounce left. I've used it all. And then I'm also going to be mixing it up with Urban Decay's Honey palette, the Naked Honey palette. Look at all the fun sparkles. So we've got honey and golden and HIBC, even though that's not a name, it's one of my favorite ones. So I'll be showing you how I utilize all of those two without making it look too like 8th grade prom. My newest one, the Naked Urban Decay Cherry. I love these colors so much. Once again, I've used up the hot spot. So there are my 3 palettes. I'm gonna be working with the Heat and the Honey. Okay, let's get started. I should warn you, when it comes to brushes, I either stole them from my mom, sorry mom, or they're from MAC, Sephora. Basically what I'm saying is if you have a good primer and a beautiful eyeshadow palette, I think you can make do with whatever brushes you have. They don't have to be super expensive. I'm going to start with my Heat palette first, and I like to start with a darker color on the outside and I get lighter as I work my way in. That's pretty standard. So the color I'm going to use is En Fuego. I'd call it almost like a little bit of a purpley maroon. And I'm just gonna start on the lid. I'm gonna lean in just a little bit. And I'm gonna start with it right out here and just kind of go all over the lid. And a little more of my En Fuego. And then if I get too much, tap, tap, tap. over here on the lid, on the corner. I'm a perfectionist. And so I'll go back through with this tiny little brush that I believe is a MAC brush, and I'll dab a little more in Fuego and to the corners, just to make sure it goes up a little bit. So you see that's kind of a dense brush, so you don't need a lot of eyeshadow. And then I'm going to go back through with this MAC brush, 224, and I'm gonna use a little bit of the cayenne color you see right here to sort of blend that all in on the corners. Now, my secret best friend is no brush at all, but a Q-tip. I recommend always keeping Q-tips in your makeup bag. They're great for corrections. They're also good for getting that highlighter and sort of smoothing things out. They're my go-to. I never leave home without them. Good example right here. I feel like this color went up a little bit high. I'm gonna sort of bring it down. Okay. Ooh, I need a cup of water. So I'm using a little bit of water, and I only use water when it comes to some of the shimmery shades. If I add just a little bit of water to the color, it makes it pop, and it doesn't move. It's almost like putting on like a cream-based shadow, which I don't use a lot of, mainly because I don't know how to. I'm gonna take this Sephora brush here, oh, number 14, and I'm just gonna dip it in the water, just a little, and then I'm going to pat the water off. So I don't want a bunch of water, I just want a little bit of water. I don't want it running down my face. And I'm going to use let's go with the Dirty Talk. I'm gonna use the Dirty Talk. Okay, check this out. It's looking pretty intense. Don't worry, we're gonna blend. I'm going from a really dark to a really light, so I need to transition it in between. So I'm going to bring in my Artiste brush here, and I'm going to bring in this sauced color. It still has that sort of bronzy color here that I used in the Dirty Talk, so that's gonna be a good transition over because eventually I'm gonna get to the HBIC. So a little sauced, goes a long way. And I'm gonna start with it right here, just a little, as I transition a little bit lighter. You check that out, there we go. Okay, and then I can come back through with my lighter blending brush. And you can just see we're just sort of getting lighter in between. We're getting lighter, we're getting lighter. Now, we're going back to the HBIC. This one's my favorite one. I can't believe I haven't run out of it yet. I have a different brush for that. This one is a MAC brush 217. I dip this one in the water because I don't want the colors to bleed over. And I'm going in the corner here. Look how pretty that is. I mean, that pops. Oh, I love that. I'll sort of go over the Dirty Talk with the HBIC to sort of blend the two so they're not too divided. We want everything to get along. Now you can sort of see the difference, right? So you've got the darker colors out here, you're working your way lighter, and you've got the two shimmers on the bottom. So it's super poppy, super intense. And now I need to calm it down just a little bit because it's just like, wow. So that's when I get this great Artiste brush back in here. And this Artiste brush is a great blender. So I'm gonna take it back in. This one is one that you can actually just wipe off and reuse. I've got Urban Decay again because I used all of my highlighter. I went back and this is Urban Decay and Virgin. I'm going to be using that as the highlighter and then towards the middle to lighten everything up and sort of blend it together. So as you can see, a little less crazy, softer lines. Go back with my blending brush. Ooh, I'm gonna add He Devil. I feel like the cayenne was too close to the El Fuego. There we go. Boy, that made all the difference. Now here is where the magic of the Q-tip comes in. Just go around with your highlighter. That allows me to have some precision before I blend. But the whole point is to have that depth in the corner, the really deep dark, and then get lighter, 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 and then that shimmer in the middle. Now the shimmer is not really necessary, but it's just so much fun. And those are normally the questions I get asked. And years ago, you would never have used any sort of shimmer. I still don't use glitter, but years ago you would have never used shimmer on television. And now, I mean, someone probably would tell me no, but I've been doing it long enough, I feel like I can kind of sort of do my own thing. All right, now I've gone back through and sort of blended everything out. Normally I wouldn't put on any eyebrows until the very end, but they were on from earlier this morning, so I kept them. That's another video. Let me give you a closer look. I think I have like 6 colors on there, and they all sort of mesh together. It's pretty good. Pretty good. The problem is I'll get having too much fun in the morning and then I'll realize, oh, I gotta get going to work. It's just so much fun to play with the different colors and see what you can come up with. Okay, I'm gonna stop or I'll just screw it all up. All right, so that's it. So basically I do 2 different shimmers on my lid. I start with dark colors on the outside and I work my way in and I just get lighter and then I do a pop of highlighter on the top. Now, we're not done. Liquid eyeliner is a crucial part of this. I talked to you about how I don't want things to move around. The Kat Von D tattoo liner, this isn't even waterproof. I'm not a huge fan of waterproof because I feel like it never comes off. The tattoo liner and just regular black, it stays put all day. It will not run anywhere. It will not go anywhere. And then after that, we curl the lashes and add Bad Gal Lash. One of the tips that I got last time was that I was wearing my liquid eyeliner too thick in the center of the eye. I needed to keep the line thinner and then of course make it thicker on the outside, which honestly, it was just laziness. I just wasn't being precise enough. So that's why another reason I like this is because you can see just how thin it can get. Anyone else have a makeup face? I know opening my mouth does nothing for me, but I cannot help but do it. Okay, Urban Decay, again. This is the Glide On Eye Pencil. This is waterproof. Bought that by mistake. And I'll go in and I'll do the lash line above. If you have smaller eyes, I would recommend not rimming the bottom. And instead, I have another brush that I use. It is a really, really dense, look at all that color that's still in there. It is a really, really dense bristled brush that's pretty thin. And you can go back underneath and just do, let's take some of the He Devil. And you can do your eyeshadow underneath like that so that you don't have a super harsh line. You know what, let's have fun. Let's put some dirty talk in it too. Let's do a little shimmer. Okay, so look at all the fun colors we have going on. Lost a little there. We cannot take our Laura Mercier off just yet. Time for the mascara. Obviously, I took a little more time to show you how to do my eye makeup today. I would say that I typically spend about 15 minutes from eyeshadow to liner to eyelashes. Here's my secret tip. I call it the cleanup crew. So I use another Q-tip and I make sure I go in and get all that gunky stuff out of your eyes because it's there. You've just put on a bunch of eye makeup. You probably poked yourself in the eye. You want to get it all out. And then I go back in with another Q-tip and make sure after I swipe off all of my under eye brightening powder that I get in all the creases and crevices there too to make sure it's all clean. I wear false eyelashes just about every day because I really don't have any for a number of reasons. And I can't give her a shout out enough, but Daniela Bell, oh man, once I went Daniela, I haven't gone back. So this is the, she calls it the Lash and Go. This is the Caitlin Lash. It's a little more glam. And then this is the Stephanie Lash. And the Stephanie Lash is, I don't know, it's glam too. I don't do subtle lashes. Lashes are a complete tutorial on their own, but I am gonna let you in on a little secret since this helps complete the entire look. After you put your falsies on, go back over the edge with a black liner. It helps them look more natural, especially if you're not using a black glue, and oftentimes I don't. That was told to me by a makeup artist that I worked with a couple of years ago. And then to make sure your eyelashes are not drooping, once the glue gets tacky enough, take your pinkies, go underneath, and lift them up. Just sort of push them up. That allows them to pop. The same lady who told me about the eyeliner told me about that. Ta-da! Check it out. This wasn't for the faint of heart. Seven colors I used today. And really, just because it was fun, not because I had to. I'm sort of addicted now. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the steps that I went through today. And again, if you have any ideas or suggestions or techniques or any palettes that you think I should check out, I want to hear from you. I'm always trying to learn more. Like I said, I'm not a professional, just love to have a lot of fun when I'm putting on my makeup.